It's a banger. I love this, man. It says Sheol. This is described as a place of stillness or eternity rest for the dead. It is ultimately describes the grave. Your physical body returns to earth.
Painting is called Dante's Hell, right, y'all? And I just find it funny that this shit was way back then, and he basically illustrated Hollow Earth.
Did we possibly find the place where Azazel, the fallen angel, is locked away for all eternity?
Here's what I'd wear when I finally go back to hell where I belong. There are 9 circles of hell according to Dante. Circle 3, gluttony, they're all splashing around in rotting sludge and stinky rain. So I will be bringing a light jacket. Circle 4, greed, everyone's weighed down by—
This is interesting. The lake of fire, Tartarus, first heaven, second heaven, third heaven, paradise. See, you better lock in and buckle up, bucko! Cause you better lock in and buckle up, bucko! Cause you're in for another creepy and scary TikTok reaction video. You want to be careful on these creepy, scary, weird, bizarre, and strange videos because they might just change your reality and keep you up all night. If you haven't already, please slap that like button and let's get ready to dive into tonight's waters. I'm JetskiChucK, and this is Dark Waters 9.
The original silk used to come from the silkworm, and it's interesting because silk is highly conductive. And if you think about our bodies, we are highly conductive. We are highly conductive crystals. So silk actually used to be very, very healing. Then all of a sudden, about 1906, 1907, fake silk came about, which was from DuPont. You had a plastic silk which came about, and that started to eliminate that whole silk, I guess you could call it Silk Road if you want to call it, of clothing. And then plastic silk took its place. And this is where people get a whole bait and switch. You know, they sell something like bamboo, but in reality it's polyester. And then they sell something like silk and people think they're wearing silk, and then they find out they're wearing plastic. So if you think about it, a lot of these things have changed over time and people don't really know. So when they're buying something, they don't really know what they're supposed to be feeling while they're wearing something. So they're completely confused. And if you're wearing things and they're making you ultra warm and ultra irritable and ultra angry, that clothing is not resonating with your skin. And this is all the DuPonts, plastics, polymers, nylons, acrylics, Tencel, all those materials. Because think about it, it's like taking a garbage bag and putting it over your body. You're not gonna be too happy, that's for sure. The original silk used to come from the silkworm.
Damn, now that he said something, man, I be tossing and turning like a mug with my covers, man. Those covers are probably super polyester up, now that I'm thinking of it. So we need silk covers, is what I'm thinking. Am I tripping? Am I the only one that feels like that? Let me know if you just toss and turn a lot because of the cover, you know. Maybe we all need silk covers, real silk.
Fabrics have energy. Humans are made of energy. Let's talk about it.
So in 2003, a Jewish doctor did a study on the science and frequency of fabrics. And honestly, I never really thought about the fabrics that I was wearing and how it impacted my body. But after reading the study, I was like, oh, wow. So basically the study was showing that a healthy human body has a frequency of 100. And basically wearing a fabric that has a frequency of less than 100 is actually taking away from us, making us feel worse rather than adding something for us. And basically each fabric has a frequency that can be measured in megahertz. Organic cotton, for example, has a measurement of 110 megahertz. Whereas polyester, which we wear all the time, has a frequency of 10. That's it, 10 megahertz. Do you know what the frequency of an unhealthy human, like a sick human, is? Generally 15. Now listen to this. Wool and linen have a measurement of 5,000. 5000. But you can't mix linen and wool together because it will just counteract the positive properties. And a fun fact about linen, it's the material that was most frequently used for wounds and as bandages. They were onto something. It has healing properties. So that's exactly why I changed all of my bed sheets to linen. So moral of the story, wear more linen. And let's cut back on the polyester.
As you go through the frequency charts, you have linen and wool up here at the top. Then you have organic cotton, which resonates at 100. You have leather, which resonates at about 30. You have silk, which is at about 15. And then you have all the polyesters made by DuPont and the plastics that all are at 0. So you kind of go through there. Now, hemp and cashmere are not in that list. And I only say this because those were not measured in these studies in which I was researching. But cashmere is also very healing. So if you want to have the combination of linen with something, you can stack it with hemp, you can stack it with cashmere, you can stack it with organic cotton. Those would be the 3 best you can do. Now, personally, from my experience, and we're going to go through the 3 as well, wool is very warming and also has lanolin in it, which is very healing for the skin. They actually used to use lanolin in all these different types of skincare products to heal people. Well, wool was part of that. And then when you go into the cashmere, in my opinion, is the most soothing. So if you wear wool, wool is usually worn in the winter. And if you're cold, you would wear some wool and you'd put, everything from the sheep on you. And then with the cashmere is very healing too. And I think that's because it's just a different frequency. There's so many different frequencies now with all of these things, and we never touch any of them. And I will tell you, I got my first pair of cashmere socks. That's what we purchased this, it was like wintertime. Cashmere socks. Absolutely unbelievable the way that they feel. I mean, just unbelievable. That's the best way to describe it. And the thing is that's what we don't know. Our bodies don't know what things are naturally supposed to feel like because we live in this synthetic environment. And when we're surrounded by all this plastic and polyester nonsense, then we don't even know what the real thing feels like until we wear it. So with cashmere, just can say, oh my Lord, it's just absolutely amazing. And then with wool, same exact thing. And with linen, same exact thing. Linen, cashmere, wool. As you go through the frequency charts, you have linen.
Do you know the clothes?
This company developed a fabric that has the ability to repair itself.
But linen is very healing. They used to use it in the hospitals, so people get a little, But linen is very healing. They used to use it in the hospitals, so people would heal quicker. Imagine that. There's no profits in that. And then also, too, they used to wrap babies in there because of all the beautiful light frequencies that linen would give off, and it would help babies sleep better. Think about it. The baby is wrapped in a plastic polyester DuPont sheet. Well, then the baby's going to get a little, they're going to kick their little legs. They're going to start getting hot. They're going to start getting bothered. What that's going to cause is them to become irritable, and they're not going to be able to sleep. So they actually used to wrap babies in linen so that they would sleep better because the linen didn't gather any static. But when you get into materials, we are meant to wear certain materials. Linen is very healing. It emits a ton of light, and it's very healing for the body. Highest light frequencies. You get into all these different clothing materials, and they all, when you go back to the natural ones, they all emit tons of light. Light is very healing, just like the sun. Plastic, on the other hand, DuPont polymers, polyurethane, acrylic, nylon, tensile, I don't know, whatever else words they come up with, those don't emit any light. What are we? Light beings. So if you don't emit any light or allow the light to transfer throughout the material that you're wearing, you start to develop health issues. Simple. But linen is very healing. They used to use it in the hospitals.
I need some cashmere long johns now. I wonder what this is I'm rocking. Kenneth Cole. I don't know what if it's 100% cotton or what. I have no idea.
How is it that linen and the hertz in linen, the frequency, can actually create healing in the human body? A number of videos back, I was talking about the power of linen and wool and how as believers, this is actually ancient wisdom from scripture. And I said I would dig a little deeper to figure out why. How is it that a piece of cloth could accelerate healing in the human body? Linen emits a remarkable light frequency that is unmatched by any other clothing material made from other plants. It naturally combats a range of bacteria, which is remarkable, and has been proven to shield against varying illnesses just by having it on your body. This fabric has actually been proven to guard the wearer against chemical exposure and dust. So it's a hypoallergenic protective cloth. Studies have even shown it's been helpful in managing dermatological issues like eczema or rashes. And it's helped to reduce their inflammation. One of the great things too is an anti-static. So that static that's created with friction with something like bed sheets can cause restless leg syndrome. So if you suffer from that, switch to linen and you'll probably find that it completely goes away. There's literally so much out there about how incredible linen is. And I am today old when I've learned half of these things, which is why I'm sharing them. So
Frequency has a higher frequency than cotton polyester fabrics. Bamboo fabric? I've never heard of that. We definitely got to switch up how we rocking stuff, y'all.
Quick thought. I was just making my bed, right? And I was thinking about linen, right? And why I feel so good, right? The Bible speaks about linen and wool. The reason. Quick thought. I was just making my bed, right? And I was thinking about linen, right? And why I feel so good, right? The Bible speaks about linen and wool. The reason why linen and wool feel so good when you lay on it and you wrap yourself in it, because the frequency of it is a 5,000 unit frequency count, right? That means it raises the vibration, the frequency of the human body. That's why hospitals use it. When they go in the hospitals, you lay down in the hospital beds. Even if you're sick for a moment, you lay down, they cover you up with wool, lay you on linen. You feel better, but you can't use them together. You can't use wool and linen together because it cancels out the frequency. But if you use linen by itself or wool by itself, cover up on your bed, use linen. That's linen back there, boy. That's that linen. Put linen on your bed. It's going to raise the frequency of the body. It's going to make you feel better. All right. So use linen.
Man, I've been asleep. I had no idea about this. Did you guys know about this? Drop your thoughts below. What y'all doing? Bamboo sheets, linen? Man, we got to raise our vibration, man. Who knew? I'm going to be rocking just pure wool and linen out here, you know? Just give me a linen robe. Be out here like IP man, you know?
Linen sheets, that's what they used to use back in the 1900s. Linen sheets. They knew that it would heal you faster because of all the light frequency coming off the linen. So they put people on the linen sheets. They'd get them out real quick. Now, DuPont plastic. That's what people are wrapped in, which builds up a whole bunch of static, makes them more sick over time. Linen is the original way to go. If you're not sleeping in linen sheets and you're suffering from restless leg syndrome, it could be fixed like that with just a little bit of linen. And the cool thing is, once you buy linen, you don't got to buy them again. They last a lifetime. Like you don't need to keep buying more sheets because you already got sheets. That's the cool part about quality and buying quality.
An artist from back then named Perry Lonica, right? He had claimed that there's many layers under St. Michael's, y'all. This painting is called Dante's Hell, right, y'all? And I just find it funny that this shit was way back then, and he basically illustrated Hollow Earth. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out is this. You peep how that's like the sun it looked like? Hold on, I took a screenshot and zoomed in so y'all can see. They was basically saying that there's different levels underneath us, y'all. And that there's something at the bottom of there, and there's also another sun. It's also funny that in the Bible it stated that there's a place called Sheol that's like an inner earth, like some type of hell on earth, inside of the earth though. And I know y'all remember the Hollow Earth scene when King Kong was falling. You could see the sun right there. Is it just a coincidence when you go on Google and you look up Hollow Earth entrances, right? And you see this, and there's a sun in the middle. There's literally places around the world where they said that you can walk to this place, but it takes miles and miles and miles. Like imagine walking downwards to the ocean beyond. So y'all just gotta think, yo. Is this far-fetched? Yo, I'm back on my shit, man. Wake up! An artist from back then named Perry Lonica, right?
Perry Lonica. What was this called?
He had claimed that there's many layers under St. Michael's, y'all. This painting is called Dante's Hell, right?
Dante's Hell. We all played the game Dante's Inferno. I know you guys heard of it. Dante's Inferno. This is called Dante's Hell, and he's literally illustrating. Oh, something's not up.
These are the 9 levels of hell and the sins you have to commit to end up in either one. These levels of hell were described in Dante's book called Inferno. In this book, he describes hell as having different levels that number up to 9. He explains that you have to commit certain crimes and sins in order to get into certain levels of hell. Number 1 level of hell starts from the top, while number 9 ends at the bottom. The first circle of hell is called limbo, and this is for people who are not Christians or don't believe in God. The second level is called lust, and is for those people who lust after women and women who lust after men. While the third level is for people who are gluttons and eat too much. The fourth level of hell, according to Dante, is for people who are greedy. Their punishment is to push huge bags of money up a mountain for eternity. The fifth level is for people who have anger issues and have a generally mean lifestyle. If you're wicked, the fifth level is where you end up. The sixth level of hell is for people who believe that there is no God or any supernatural power. This set of people believe that human beings are born from science and everything that happens can be explained by science. The seventh level is for murderers and people who committed violent crime. The eighth level is for fraudsters and people who cheat others off of money. He also says that fortune tellers will be here. Their punishment is that their head will be turned around so they cannot see the future anymore. The final level of hell is for people who were disloyal. These are people who betrayed their country or loved ones for some sort of personal gain. They will spend their time in eternity on the 9th level with the devil himself. What are your thoughts on these levels of hell? And do you believe it truly applies? Let me know in the comment section. These are the 9 levels.
Damn.
Dante's Inferno is a study of the layers of evil. That's a good way of thinking about it. So it's an architecture of hell. You might say, well, I don't believe in hell. It's like, well, that's just because you haven't been there. You know, you'd believe in it if you'd been there. And it also means that you just don't understand, because it's Dante's book in particular is the architecture of evil. He was trying to understand how you rank order what's worse, and he put betrayers pretty much at the base. And I think the reason for that is if you betray yourself or if you're betrayed by someone else, it takes your faith away.
Dante's Inferno, the first part of his epic poem, The Divine Comedy, is a harrowing journey through the 9 circles of hell. Dante's vivid descriptions of the punishments inflicted on sinners in each circle are enough to chill anyone to the bone. In the Inferno, Dante encounters souls condemned to eternal suffering for sins such as greed, lust, and treachery. The punishments are gruesome and fitting, with sinners being boiled in tar, eaten by snakes, and frozen in ice. But beyond the shock value of these descriptions lies a deeper message about the consequences of sin and the importance of repentance. Dante's journey through the Inferno serves as a warning to all those who would give in to their worst impulses. Overall, Dante's Inferno is a powerful work that continues to captivate readers with its terrifying imagery and profound themes. Dante's Inferno.
You gotta figure out, is Sheol different than Hollow Earth? Are they the same thing? I don't know.
Here's what I'd wear when I finally go back to hell where I belong. There are 9 circles of hell according to Dante. Circle 1 is limbo, and it's full of pagans and unbaptized people in very dark woods. Therefore, I will be going with a goth Alice theme. Circle 2 is lust. It's where all the sexy people are, so I will be wearing latex. Circle 3, gluttony. They're all splashing around in rotting sludge and stinky rain, so I will be bringing a light jacket. Circle 4, greed. Everyone's weighed down by huge money bags. What I'm hearing is I'm finally rich, fantastic. 5 is wrath. There's people trapped under a river and then angry people fighting on top of that river. I'll take the top bunk. 6 is heresy. There are tons of philosophers trapped in flaming tombs. Do not worry, I will save you. Circle 7, there's a boiling blood lake that's on fire. Yay, adventures. Circle 8, fraud, includes corrupt politicians, sorcerers, and crazy looking demons. I'll go chill with the sorcerers. And circle 9, treachery. It's where the worst people are, but I learned how to fight, so we can go now. Thank you. Here's what I'd wear when I finally go back to hell where I belong. There are 9
What? They got an animated series? I don't even want to watch this. They got an animated series, Dante's Inferno. I had no idea. I'm gonna have to watch this. I can't play this, guys. Go check out Dante's Inferno, an animated epic. Like I said, they had a video game like this where his wife got dragged off into hell, and my man Dante went head first into hell trying to save her. You know, you be baptizing people as you killing them. Man, that was the game.
Fuck.
Look, here it is.
Fuck. Hey, what's up? When we get done, they gonna play this back. I thought Fancy wanted me, but she... Fuck.
And one of his special moves, he was straight baptize him. You can choose, do you want to kill him or do you want to baptize him? You know? Man, that game went hard. I never did beat it. We might have a stream coming soon. Dante's Inferno, man. Would y'all watch your boy play Dante's Inferno? Drop in the comments below. I don't even want to see the gameplay. Look at who he's fighting. This is probably greed or something, you know? But yeah, that's the game I just was talking about. That's crazy. That's AI listening to us talk. And he's like, oh, JetskiChucK, want to see them? Let me go ahead quick. Play a couple clips of them. That's why TikTok's so dangerous. They'll play what you thinking about.
In Dante's Inferno, the lowest circle of hell is reserved for Judas, Brutus, and Cassius. The former betrayed our boy Jesus Christ, while the latter two betrayed Julius Caesar. The reason these people are considered worthy of the worst part of hell is because they switch sides. In the philosophical works of Trippy Red, it said, "Don't go switching sides, switching sides." And if that wasn't convincing enough, he continues, "I swear this is where you reside by his side." Treason is traditionally considered one of the worst wrongs someone can commit. But why? Seneca, when he was describing the qualities of character, stated that loyalty was the most sacred quality that can be found in a human breast. Bill O'Neill, who rose up the ranks of the Black Panthers and betrayed Fred Hampton, lived with his guilt for a long time before finally committing suicide. The shame of what he did was too much to bear. If you aren't loyal to those around you, and you're in their inner circle, it's easy to get a one-up on them. They have their guard down, after all. It's much different to being bested by an enemy on the battlefield than it is to get betrayed by someone that you love and trust. This is why treason is frowned upon in nearly every single culture, and why loyalty is so important. It's been an important theme for centuries, and those who are disloyal we paint as horrible. Disloyalty destroys tribes. Without trust, we cannot thrive. In our own life, we need to find friends that will be loyal to us, people that we can trust. The best way to do this? Be loyal yourself. You go first. You be loyal. You may be betrayed, and that will hurt, but as Marcus Aurelius says, don't be like them. Avoid false friendships. Be loyal and be willing to put yourself on the line for those in your circle. Above all else though, don't go switching sides, as there's not many less honorable or less virtuous things that you can do.
Don't go switching sides. I think I heard that song. It wasn't too bad, honestly.
The ninth final circle of hell is divided into 4 rounds according to the seriousness of the sin, though all residents are frozen in an icy lake. The 6th circle of hell are for the heretics who are condemned to eternity in flaming tombs.
In Dante's famous journey into hell, he makes it to limbo. And in limbo, there are souls there who made blunders and made mistakes, but they have the possibility of making it to heaven. And they can get to heaven faster if people on earth pray for them. Even though they are dead, it is possible for them to make it through if blessings, if magical words come down and bless them and carry them forward. And the job of the priest in the Christian world was to try get people to accept Christ before they die so that their souls could be saved, so that they would not get ensnared in hell or get lost in limbo, and instead they would be able to go to heaven. Christ was the guardian who would take people through these afterworld spaces, because Christ wasn't the master of this world per se. He was actually the master of the higher world, the meta world, heaven, and he was the one who could guide you to that space. Because you think you're all big and strong here, but one day you're going to die and you're going to find your consciousness standing there in the half world being like, what the is going on?
You know, on a brighter note, I remember I was getting in my studies back in the day, and I came across that there's different levels to heaven. You know, I don't know how much validity this has, but I believe this was from one of the acolytes of John that said you are rewarded for how many souls you save. Like, say if you did, I don't know if the numbers was 30, 60, 90, but there was different levels. Like if you save like over a certain number of souls, you are able to get paradise. And I believe paradise was the highest level of heaven. And there's a city and then there's one below it. You know, I'm gonna have to do a video on that on a separate time when I have more information, because I'm just, you know, reaching in my brain for these breadcrumbs that I remember. But yeah, it was paradise, because if you remember back, the thief that was on the cross right next to Jesus, he was like, look, I've been a thief my entire life, you know what I'm saying, but I cannot deny that this is the Son of God right here. And what did Jesus say? He was like, well, because you believe in me, I give you paradise right then and there. So that thief got instant paradise, the highest level. That's far. That's what I do remember. I'm like, dang, he got the highest level that quick, you know, because he literally has the keys to heaven. He can put you in whatever place you get, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something I thought about. If you guys know more about this, let me know. Drop your comments and the thoughts below. But I know that this information was from an acolyte of John, the person that wrote Revelation. It was one of the people that studied under him that said this, that you were rewarded by how many souls you save. I don't know how much validity it has. I'm just sharing what is coming to my mind when I'm watching this, because I'm like, yeah, we got all these levels of hell, but did you know that there's also levels to heaven, to how much work you put down in here? Angels rejoice when souls are getting saved, you know? This is just something I found. I just quick typed in stuff, but this is interesting. The lake of fire, Tartarus, first heaven, second heaven, third heaven, paradise. See, paradise being up at the top. So your boy knew a little something. I didn't even look at this before I, you know, just said what I said, you know what I'm saying? But let me know y'all thoughts below, man. There's 3 levels. Tartarus could be up inside hollow earth, or they can just be totally separate. You got Tartarus, Sheol, Agartha, maybe in the middle. I don't know. There's a lake of fire mugs getting cast in. Drop y'all thoughts below.
The 3 heavens.
Romans chapter 6 is a very important verse and concept concerning hallowing, where being freed away from valence, which is the unfaithing, we have fruit into hallowing, which into is a preposition denoting towards something. So it's a process which there's a finishing line of it, being Aeonian life. And in relationship to fruit carrying, we see these 3 so-called denominations where there's some 30, some 60, some 100, where in other parallel occurrences of this, it's reversed. There's some 100, some 60, some 30. And these denominations actually accord with the parabolic watch time orders. In the so-called second coming, the coming again of the Lord in his presence, the each in his own order concerns those who will be made alive. Which orders, rankings, orders, they concern the parabolic watch times of the night orders, where I've highlighted the first 3 orders, right? And if we go to Luke chapter 12, we see the relationship of the wedding feasts to these orders, where notice how the blissful designation stops at the 3rd watch time, which is actually the last opportunity to come into the blissful allotment. Those who have the future, those who have Aeonian life, the fruit into hallowing, which would mean that I would say they are the sum 30, where the second watch time, midnight, would be sum 60, and then the disappeared first watch time, those who are coming out of the wedding who come in first, which those according to the 3rd watch time brings us to the reason I'm making this video. When the Apostle Paul was robbed, harpazo, to the 3rd heaven and shown the 3rd heaven, which he could not speak, right? This is the paradise. So understand, the 3rd heaven concerns the last order or rank of the 3rd watchtimers who will come into the allotment. Which now brings us to the bandit who was at the right hand of Jesus, in contrast to the one at the left who blasphemed. Where when he said, Jesus, be reminded of me when as it were you come in your regency, when you come in your regency, Jesus said to him, amen, I say to you today, I'm saying this to you today, you will be with me in the paradise. He was telling him that in the last days, in the resurrection, he will awaken, but he will still have the judgment to come into the paradise allotment among the 3rd watchtimers. So he will not enter the wedding feasts of the officiation of the angels at midnight, but he will have to go into the 3rd watchtime order to be hallowed and have his fruit into hallowing, which the finishing is the Aeonian life at the cock's voice. 3rd watch time, 3rd heaven, paradise. Here the 3rd watch time in Luke 12:38 is the 2nd half of Daniel's 70th week, where the 2nd watch time is the 1st half. So the 3rd watch time points to Daniel 12:12. Dragging along concludes the 3rd watch time, the reaching into the 1335 days, where when we back up to verse 2 here, where the many out of those sleeping in the Adama includes the bandit, who's still sleeping in the Adama. So this is the resurrection that Jesus talks about in John chapter 5 here. Do not marvel at this, since the hour comes in which all who are in the sepulchres hear on his voice, and then those having done the good will go out into resurrection of life, which is Aeonian life. But they're going into or towards it. Where these back here who step further do not come into judgment, in contrast to these who do. Okay, for the Father has given him also the judgment to do authority, where then these accord with judgment, where even we see the good, those having done the good, have to still go into life. Because good is not good enough. Right? Good is good, but also understand it's faithing upon little, where here we see the context of the down establishing. Right? So the bandit faithed at his deathbed, but he didn't have the fruit into hallowing yet, which the down establishing in the last days will accomplish for some 100, some 60, some 30, that they may have their fruit into hallowing the cleansing required to come into the regency, which the finishing of the hallowing is Aeonian life. So here in Rome,
What is Aeonian life? I never heard that. Aeonian life. Aeonian life. What is Aeonian life? What is Aeonian life mean? Aeonian life is acquired by living and dying during your aeon. However, with the aeons completed and Christ gives a kingdom to his Father and God all in all, you will be experience what is in the Bible called immortality. Immortality is what God has. So Aeonian life basically means you made it to heaven? That's just the correct term? Drop your thoughts below. Is that Aeonian life? Is that eternal? Is what I'm getting.
Did we possibly find the place where Azazel, the fallen angel, is locked away for all eternity? This is called the Well of Hell in Yemen. In Enoch, the Lord tells Raphael to bind Azazel hand and foot, cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Duadel, and cast him therein. Let him abide there forever, and may his face not see the light. Duadel means kettle or cauldron. Duadel does not seem to be a place that I can find, but some people believe this entrance is located to the east of Jerusalem. And technically this well is to the east of Jerusalem. It's 100 feet wide and about 300 feet deep. It has been explored to some extent, but obviously could be explored more. What do you think? Leave me a comment and follow for more.
That is fascinating. Drop your thoughts below. Looks like some type of snake, I ain't gonna lie. Some type of serpent. A massive serpent. And there's the head. The Leviathan.
It's hollow and filled with mole people, sea monsters, and their family from Land of the Lost. What do I look like, an idiot?
Hollow Earth. Way up!
Sheol. This is described as a place of stillness or eternal rest for the dead. It ultimately describes the grave your physical body returns to earth. Sheol. This is described as a
It says Sheol. This is described as a place of stillness or eternity rest for the dead. It is ultimately describes the grave your physical body returns to earth. So is Sheol hell?
Bible concepts. Today we're going to be talking about Sheol. Now, Sheol is a Hebrew word that means the grave. In Greek, we see that word is Hades, also just means the grave. This is where everyone goes when we die. The common misconception is that when people die, they immediately go to heaven, or they immediately go to hell. Or the Roman Catholic heresy includes something called purgatory, which is just not real. It is a disgusting pagan nonsense. But Sheol is essentially the abode of the dead. Now, there's a few different theories on Sheol. One of them is that when Jesus died, upon his resurrection, he emptied Sheol. However, there's really no biblical evidence for that. But if someone believes that, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a heresy in any way. It's just there's no actual evidence to say that it was emptied yet. But now the primary theory, which is the one that I hold to, is that everyone still goes to Sheol when we die. So what is Sheol? It's not heaven, it's not hell. It's kind of this waiting place. It's not limbo, not purgatory, nothing like that. It is a place that has a good side and a bad side. The Bible describes it as being separated by a chasm that people cannot cross between. But we see in Luke chapter 16 one of the best depictions of Sheol, which shows us the two sides. One is referred to as Abraham's bosom, or paradise. The Greek word there is paradiso. Or the other side is referred to as the abyss, or the bottomless pit. And that word is the abyssos. Now in Luke chapter 16, Jesus prophesies something amazing in a very unique way. And a lot of people have mislabeled this as a parable, but this is in no way a parable. This is a prophecy where Jesus is predicting the death and resurrection of Lazarus. See, Jesus tells this story about a rich man and a guy named Lazarus. And Lazarus is poor. He has some kind of a skin condition where he has sores all over his body, and the Bible even mentions that like dogs would come up and like lick the sores on his face. And Jesus said that when Lazarus dies, he is carried away by the angels to Abraham's bosom, to paradiso, to paradise. Then Jesus tells of this rich man. And when this rich man, who always liked to adorn himself in purple and just made himself like the king of his own life, when that man died, he went to the bottomless pit. He went to the bad side of Hades. Now we see this scene where Lazarus, we don't see him as being conscious, but we see Abraham. Like Abraham, you know, the father of Isaac and Ishmael, Abraham is conscious and he's down there. So we don't know if Lazarus is conscious or not. We just know that Abraham is conscious. And we see this rich man yelling across that chasm to Abraham. And he says, "Father Abraham, please send Lazarus to dip his finger in water and touch my tongue because I am in agony in this flame." And due to him referencing that as being in a flame, a lot of people have taken this to be symbolic of hell. But the word for hell is Gehenna. It is not Sheol, it is Gehenna. It is not Hades, it is Gehenna. The King James is notorious for mistranslating the word Hades to hell. That is a very different thing. Gehenna is the lake of fire. That is hell. Hades just means the grave, or the abode of the dead. Now Abraham responds back to the rich man saying like, "No, I'm sorry, there's this chasm where no one can cross back and forth. No one can come from here to your side or from your side to our side." And then the rich man, somehow knowing that Lazarus is going to come back from the dead, he screams out to Abraham and says, "Then please send Lazarus to my brothers so they do not suffer the same fate that I am currently suffering." Abraham says, "They have Moses and the prophets to warn them. They can listen to them." The rich man says, "No, please, if someone came back from the dead and told my brothers, they would repent." Then Abraham says, "No, even if someone came back from the dead, they would not believe if they reject everything that was told to them by the prophets." That hits hard. Because I want you to think about that. Jesus, literally God in the flesh, died, rose from the dead, and still people don't believe him. Even if someone came back from the dead, some people just won't believe. They hate God that much.
I believe someone once said to me, man, Moses can come back right now and open up the sea and people will still not be in disbelief. Like, I'm telling you, like, Moses could come back right now, separate the sea. You know how many people will be like, man, that was AI, CGI, man, they blue beaming us. Hey, this dude is real. I like this guy, man. His name is Taco Talks. He's not done.
that they won't believe the evidence, the proof that is there to show them the contrary. Now, the reason I still believe that Sheol is intact is because the Bible describes what is called the first and second resurrection in Revelation 20. Now, depending on your eschatology, you're going to have slightly different views on what that is. But in Revelation 20, we see that Satan is bound. Okay, so this is the start of the millennium, essentially after the world is destroyed in a premillennial worldview, the way that the premillennials view Revelation and eschatology. I'm going off of that. So in Revelation 20, we see that the world is gone. The Bible says that the earth has passed away. The earth has died. Then it says that God creates a new heaven and a new earth. Then we see the resurrection of the dead. But before the resurrection of the dead, we see that Satan is bound. This is where he's completely and totally kicked out and banned from heaven, where Satan is bound. He is bound in chains, and then he is thrown into the bottomless pit. Again, he is not thrown into hell. He is thrown into the abyss. Now, Abaddon is not Satan, but we see that in Revelation 9, the angel of the bottomless pit, the angel of death, his name is Abaddon. That means the destroyer, or in Greek, his name is Apollyon. But we see that Satan is bound and he's thrown into the bottomless pit. And when he's in there, he is essentially going to this place where everyone that has been either intentionally or unintentionally worshiping him is going to see him bound and pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, to the point that they say, like, oh, This is who wow, we followed this guy instead of God. Huh. We're dumb. Now, those people, do they get another chance to repent? I doubt it. I don't know. And I'm going to assume no, which breaks my heart. But during this time that Satan is bound is the millennium. It says that Satan is bound for 1,000 years. And at this time, we see the first resurrection, which is everyone who is a saint comes back from the dead. Everyone who is a Christian rises from the dead to live for 1,000 years on the new earth with Jesus. At the end of the 1,000 years is the second resurrection, which is where everyone in the bad side of Hades comes out for Judgment Day, at which point all those people are cast into hell. Now, one of the verses that a lot of people think is talking about the rapture, it's not talking about the rapture. It's in one of the letters that Paul wrote to the Thessalonians. And it very clearly is stating that this part where they are caught up into the clouds, this is after the resurrection of the dead. The actual rapture is not where we're taken away from the tribulation. It is where we are taken up from the earth to the new heaven, to whatever you want to describe it. But that is after the resurrection. So essentially, second resurrection happens, and then that's whenever the saints are passing over Judgment Day. They are skipping Judgment Day because we have been judged according to Christ, not according to ourselves, because we have been redeemed by Christ, if you are a Christian with me. So a lot of people have this idea that everyone that was an Old Testament saint, the people that looked forward to the Messiah, that those people are somehow going to remain in Sheol, while the people in the New Testament, like New Testament saints like us who are looking back at Jesus, that we somehow just go straight to heaven, but those people stay in Sheol. That doesn't make any sense in any kind of theological way, and I can immediately prove that wrong in 1 Thessalonians 4. We're going to see what people think is talking about the rapture, which this is, again, talking about post-resurrection. So that rapture is not talking about a pre-tribulation, it's talking about this event that takes place after the resurrection. So we see very clearly that it says, "For if we believe that Jesus died and rose from the dead, so also God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep through Jesus. For we say this to you by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord will not precede those who have fallen asleep." Quite literally, those who have fallen asleep, those who have died before us, we're not going to beat them. We're not going to precede them. We're not going ahead of them. We are all going to be resurrected simultaneously. So if you're a Christian and you have loved ones who have passed away and those people were also Christians, they're not waiting for you. They're not watching over you. They're asleep. They're resting. There's like no difference. They're outside of time right now. They're not waiting. They're not missing you, nothing like that. You're going to be missing them because you're inside of time right now and you're living through these emotions. They're not thinking about you. They're resting. They're at perfect peace. And whenever they're resurrected, whenever they wake up, is the same day that you wake up and you are resurrected. So for them, it's as if they died and then open their eyes and they're already standing there with everyone that they've ever loved right next to them, as long as those loved ones were Christians. And that's the same situation that we have. We're like my grandpa, he died back in 2019, and I am very excited to see him. He is a Christian. I know that I'm going to see him again, which is awesome. My other grandpa on my dad's side, he was not a Christian, and I know exactly where he's going to be going, and that's awful. So one of my grandpas I will see. The other grandpa I will not see. But the one that I will see, he's not waiting for me, he's not missing me, he's not missing anybody. He essentially closed his eyes, and he's going to open them back up, and I'm going to be next to him. This is why it's so bad whenever people are trying to pray to dead saints or anything like that. They can't hear you, they have no connection to the earth whatsoever. That's repeated throughout the Bible. But I hope this made sense. Let me know what's next. Follow me on X. God bless.
Damn, that was interesting. He said Sheol is basically like a spiritual waiting room. You got people on the left side that's waiting to get resurrected, and on the right side you got people in the abyss. That's basically what I took from it. Drop in the comments below what you took from it. But that's not the first time I heard about some type of waiting room. I remember I was talking back in my studies way back, I was going hard, and somebody else mentioned a waiting room. It was like a white room or something he was talking about. But man, this is just extremely interesting, man. We're going to have to do a part 2 on Sheol, man, because this is I want to dive in deeper into this, but that's all I got for today. If you made it to this far of today's video, the code word is Eonian Life. That's E-O-N-I-A-N, Eonian Life. That's the code word, man. This is getting deep. You know, we're going to do part 2 on Sheol soon, man, because there's too much, you know, left on the table, as always. Every time I finish these videos, I'm like, man, I need to dive into this. I need to dive into this. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a banger. I love this, man. Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you guys, I got new membership perks. For everyone that wants to become a member, you can become a member for $1, 99 cents. You can literally become a member for my channel for 99 cents now. You can get access to all my members only videos for just 99 cents. I have other perks you get, you know, the higher up, you know, and you get different badges. I'm gonna be adding new badges, new icons. I'm gonna put a seat belt for a buckle up buckle. I'm gonna add a whole bunch of fire emojis, y'all, so be sure to check that out, man. It helps your boy support this channel. It helps me put more into this channel so I can do new things. I have a lot I want to do on this channel, and I'm gonna get it done, but you know, the support really helps. So be sure to check out the new membership perks. I'm doing my weight loss journey. I'm sharing my weight loss journey to all my members. So for, you know, just 99 cents, or if you got a little bit more, you know, why not? You know what I'm saying? Support your boy with the $4.99 membership. Matter of fact, let me bring it up. These are, I just got approved for my new memberships, y'all. So for $1 now, 99 cents, you can become a buckled up bucko for 99 cents and get access to all my members only videos. I still got the Dark Waters 9 Explorer, you know, so everyone that's already a member, you have been upgraded to a Dark Waters 9 Explorer. You get priority reply to comments. So if you're in the Dark Waters 9, you jumping on the comments, I'm like, oh, that's an Explorer. I gotta see what he's saying. I got the Elite Force Dark 9 team for $20, a monthly verbal shout out at the end of all my videos. So right now, I'll be going through the list. Shout out to so-and-so, shout out to this. I literally say it out loud. So that's what the $20 does, and that does it for the entire duration. You're Elite Force Dark 9 team member. And then we got Dark 9 Research Division. You know, you get Dark Waters 9 Research Suggestion, Topic, and Shout Out. So literally, you can come under one of my videos if you're a part of the Dark Waters 9 Research Division and be like, Chuck, you need to check out this. I will take it into consideration if it's within YouTube's guidelines, and I'll give you a shout out right when I cover it. Like, oh, so-and-so from the Research Division said I had to cover this. You know what I'm saying? And I will say it out loud, you know? And I got the Dark Waters 9 Yacht Club. Y'all ain't ready for the Yacht Club. Wait, the Yacht Club's gonna be hot. You gonna get actual merch from the Yacht Club. Y'all not ready for it, man, but it's coming. Y'all really ain't ready for what I'm about to be dropping in December. Like, y'all got no idea. I'm just getting started, man. Your boy has got some fire. You know, people be talking, I'll be watching other channels, they're like, man, I gotta get my juice. I gotta get my juice. Man, I am the juice. JetskiChucK is the juice. I'm telling y'all, man, we going bonkers. But man, it's your boy JetskiChucK, man. You guys see it. You can get a buckled up bucko for $1 now. Dark Waters 9 Explorers, that's what all my people already. I appreciate y'all. The Elite Force Dark 9 team. Y'all get a shout out at the end of every single video. In the research division, I will literally dive into what you're talking about. You know, I do a couple of them, man. I can't every time. Oh, Chuck, you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I do a couple of them. I got you. You know, but hey, I love this. It's a blessing that I'm doing this. But I just wanted to let y'all know. And let me show y'all a quick snippet of my my weight loss journey. So all members, you get to see my weight loss journey. And here I give it all you guys a quick snippet. You know, this is what it looks like. You click on this, you have access to my weight loss journey. I'm gonna be dropping in, showing you how I'm losing this weight, and you hopefully it can, you know, inspire you to get healthier. You can help your boy, give me some tips. You know what I'm saying? We in this journey together. But check this out. Trying to turn it into a rhythm, you know, that clack clack, go up, clack clack, go up, clack clack, go up, you know. Now just repeat it, do it 3 times. That's just my basic workout, so let's do it. What's good, everybody? It's your boy JetskiChucK, man. That's just for all my members only. That's all y'all getting, man. I gotta show the people love that really support me, man. I am forever grateful for y'all that just watch the videos too, man. Y'all great too. Hit that like button, you know. 99 cents sometimes hard. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to pay nothing to watch anything. I get it. But if you really want to support your boy, help me put some more money back into my production, give y'all some even more heat. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all picked the right dude. But hey, that's it for today, man. I'm gonna let y'all get on with y'all night, man. That they didn't made us stay up all night for that weak fight we saw yesterday about Mike Tyson. Oh my God, man, that was so weak. But I love y'all, man. Peace out.